A reading from the book, A Guide for the New Renaissance, by Dr. Gerald E. Posnecker. Page 37. Sexual Practices for the New Renaissance. As mentioned, nothing in this world is by itself good or harmful. Only the use to which it is put determines quality. If the sexual function is used to increase, ennoble, sustain, and immortalize the human race, it is good, in fact, very good. On the other hand, if this faculty is used to degrade men and women, to cause injury, to weaken the body by misuse, and eventually to destroy the human soul, it has become, in truth, the great demon as characterized by so many misguided teachers. The nature of the sex act has within itself the ability to bless or to curse. There is, of course, nothing special in this, in that all laws of nature and God function in exactly the same manner. For example, take such a common element as fire. If this is controlled and used correctly, it is the salvation of man. Without it, he may freeze to death in some climates. Without it, he would not be able to prepare his food, and many would die of hunger. And yet, uncontrolled, this same force can rapidly destroy man's most cherished and beautiful possessions. Now, is fire good or bad? Is the fire used for good and life-saving purposes any different from the fire that can burn our house down? If we allow it to get out of hand, do we consider it God's fault? Or do we realize that it was our own misuse of an inherently good thing? Everything we have said about fire is also true of the sex function. It, like fire, is one of God's greatest gifts to his sons. But it, like fire, is a tremendous force that must be controlled, or it will destroy more than it will save and sustain. Like fire, sex has to be handled with care. But unlike fire, we frequently don't know we are burnt until too late. Sex, like fire, does bring its own reaction of the law, and that reaction can be either good or bad, depending on the action and intent of the activity. Sex, used for procreation, is accepted by most people as being within the laws of God. And indeed, they are correct. Once we leave this safe ground, however, we sink into a morass of controversy. The only other God-ordained use of this function, which most individuals would accept, is known as recreation. For this purpose, the sexual act is used to improve the health and vitality of both partners of a marriage. When used according to God's holy ordinance, the marriage act will increase the love between the couple. Allow each to absorb the best qualities of the other. Bring health, if lost, to either or to both. Sustain and strengthen each, and finally, help to eliminate adverse emotions and cultivate good and noble qualities.